Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down the operational backbone you need to comply with the global ESG disclosure standards. And trust me, this isn't just about what you say, it's all about how you can prove it.
So let's dive right in. You've written your ESG statement. That's great. But is your process bulletproof? Because a credible ESG statement is so much more than a well-written document. It's the final output of a process that is robust, verifiable, and totally consistent. Without that, it's really just words on a page.
All right, so first things first, before any investment manager even thinks about making public ESG claims, there's some absolutely essential internal work that has to be done. This is all about building that solid base. And according to the CFA Institute standards, this entire foundation really rests on two crucial pillars. Think of it like this. First, you got to create the playbook, which means documenting your policies. And second, you got to keep the receipts, which means maintaining your records. You need both, no shortcuts.
This is provision 1A6, and honestly, it's a big one. It's totally non-negotiable. You need a clear, documented roadmap for how your firm not only establishes compliance, but also how you stay on top of any changes. It has to be a living process, Otherwise, you risk having a compliance program that's out of date almost immediately.
Now, what's really smart about this is that it forces a firm to be deliberate and organized. It prevents that whole ad hoc or we'll figure it out later approach. It assigns clear accountability, making sure someone is actually responsible for keeping the firm compliant. No more pointing fingers.
And this gets right to the heart of that second pillar, maintaining your records. As it says in provision 1A7, you have to be able to back up every single claim you make. This means keeping a detailed paper trail of everything you see here, from internal research to your public marketing materials, anything that supports your disclosure statement.
Okay, so you've built a great internal process. What's next? Well, now it's time to tell the world. Let's move on to the external-facing requirements and see how this whole thing builds a real bridge of trust with investors and the public.
So here's the thing. Compliance is not a silent activity. You can't just do all this great work and keep it to yourself. According to provision 1A8, you have to formally notify the CFA Institute. This is a public declaration of your commitment. It puts your firm on the record, and it signals to the entire market that you're playing by the rules.
And let's be clear, these are not just suggestions. You file your initial form as soon as you complete your first disclosure statement. And after that, you've got to file annually, every year between January 1st and June 30th to stay in good standing.
And transparency is absolutely key here. This isn't about hiding things in the fine print on page 90 of your website. Provision 1A9 is super explicit. You have to make the disclosure statement easy to find. The burden is on you, the manager, to provide access, not on the investor to go on some wild goose chase for it.
Okay, so you've built your foundation, you've gone public, you're all done, right? Nope, not even close. Compliance is not a set-it-and-forget-it task. The market, the standards, your own strategies, they all evolve. And that's exactly why your disclosure statement has to be treated like a living document. Provision 1A10 lays out 3 specific triggers that require you to update your statement. 1, the standards themselves change. 2, your firm makes changes that affect what's in the disclosures. Or 3, you discover a pretty significant error. You have an obligation to keep that statement current, because a stale disclosure isn't just outdated, it's non-compliant.
And the standards don't leave significant error open to interpretation. There's really no wiggle room. It's defined as either leaving out required information or including incorrect information that would probably influence an investor's decision. It's a really high bar for accuracy.
Finally, let's talk about the step that truly separates the leaders from the rest of the pack. This is the recommended practice that takes a compliance claim and elevates it to the highest possible level of credibility. Now, while it's not mandatory, Provision 1B1 strongly recommends getting an independent third party to verify your ESG disclosure statements. This is how you go from just saying, "Trust us," to proving it with a trust but verify approach.
And the benefits of doing this? Oh, they're huge. It dramatically increases investor confidence in your claims. The process itself can actually expose weaknesses and lead you to improve your own internal controls. And, of course, it gives you a powerful marketing advantage in a very crowded field. And that really brings us to the key takeaway. Building a robust, documented, and transparent ESG compliance process, well, it isn't just about following rules. It's about being able to confidently open your books to scrutiny. So the real question we're left with is this: is your process ready for that independent review?